I wanna paint and play music today. Cause it gives me a joyful feeling, and I want everyone to feel this way. Hello and welcome to the show. I hope you all had a nice holiday. And now it's almost 2021. And what a year it has been. Today I am going to paint a painting about humbling yourself, because if there's one takeaway for me from 2020, it is I was constantly humbled. And I was constantly reminded of humility and the grace of humility. Things just kept happening in the world and to me, and it just kept getting harder and harder. And I'm sure you can relate. So, what a lesson, I guess. I almost said lesson and blessing at the same time, but I think most people would understand that lessons and blessings are the same thing. So I'm back to watercolor today, and I want to paint an image or a message about humbling yourself. So I thought, I'm not a yogi, I'm not a yogini, but I do some yoga, and there's a pose in yoga called child's pose, and to me that represents humbling yourself. You're down on the ground almost as if in prayer. Maybe you are in prayer, but your face, your head, everything is down as a child. And a lot of yoga teachers will encourage you to do that if the challenges, or if this poses get too challenging. Go ahead and get down on the ground in child's pose and humble yourself. So I'm using my favorite Arches paper, and I'm using a different palette today. I thought I'd change it up. This is an old travel palette that I have, and I think I just want to change it up. See if it inspires something new in me. And I'm thinking there's going to be some red and brown in this. But I'm going to draw first, but with paint. Just doing a simple drawing of somebody who would be in a child's pose. I suppose this could be... I want to leave a little white in here. I'll show you why. This is going to be all color, and then the white line is going to show the separation of the arm and the leg. Now it's going to be a very simple form. Like that. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to do, but I think it'll all make sense. Now I'm just going to fill it in. With a few colors. So how did I humble myself this year? Well, where do I start? I started the year skiing like I usually do, having a great time, being a dad. Then I went to Nashville, made an album, which I think is really great. And then everything changed. The world stood still. And I freaked out, and I watched how other people freaked out, and then I watched how a lot of other people really freaked out, and I saw a lot of ugliness come out of people. And I couldn't really work. So I took to just being at home, and that's challenging because raising a child is challenging. I want to be a good dad, and I was constantly faced with challenges there. And trying to do home improvement stuff to save some money because I'm not making money. And of course everything goes wrong and nothing comes out like I want it to. Man, I've been working on the garage, refinishing the garage, doing all the drywall and the putting an epoxy floor in, and didn't really come out that great. But it's just a garage. We should humble ourselves, but we should also not be too hard on ourselves. This is kind of what I'm going for. You see what I'm going for? It looks like a person, right? Probably. I'm going for like a poster. Like, not a lot of detail, but a design poster. I want something else to happen in the face or in the head. So I'm just putting plain water in just to see if that can create some cool effect. I'm going to do it on the back too. Put a bunch of pools of water right in there. And then with that, I'm also going to put in some big pool of wet blue right here. Okay, I'll take a little break and sing a song. What song do I have about being humble? I don't have a great one, but I have a song called Make the Most of This Life, Make the Most. It's an old song of mine. And it has a little bit to do. It has a little bit to do with humbling yourself. appears like the sun in my eyes. Am I making the most of his life? So much trouble and so much strife, and in my guilty hour, through all of my shame, when all alone my love is run sour, I have no one else to blame, because it finds me through the mask I wear, and I see it through my eyes closed. Still I'm bed to stare into my worries and my woes. There's comfort in self-loathing, and it's easy to slip into it. Still I must learn to lead my life with no regrets. But time all moves in the same direction. Don't let it pass you by. Move so fast, there's no time for perfection. Make the most of this life. Make the most of this life. Make the most. Make the most of this life. When I fall, I fall. And I dwell too often in my faults. I must accept it and move on. There's just no shame in having to crawl. All the time all moves in the same direction. Let it pass you by. Move so fast, there's no time for perfection. Make the most of this life. 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 If you come to me smiling, I will see you shining out from within, such a beautiful grin. Falling down on me and freckling my skin. Wake I and pour I a cup of. Wake I and pour I a cup. Wake I and pour I a cup of life. Oh yeah, make the most. I have to check one thing. Yeah. Sometimes I have brain farts and I wonder, did I turn that camera on? And I did. It's just me in a room here trying to figure this thing out. 2 cameras and a microphone, and I'm so bad at multitasking. I'm so bad at single tasking, but I love myself regardless. And I forgot to sing the pre-chorus the second time around, so I'll just say it to you. It finds me through the mask I wear, but I see it through my eyes closed. Still, I cannot bear to stare into my worries and my woes. There's comfort in self-loathing, and it's easy to slip into it. But still I must learn to live my life with no regrets. What a hard thing to do. I was much younger when I wrote that. And I'm still pretty idealistic. But isn't that a hard thing to do? I mean, I guess if you sat me down, we had a couple of beers, and we looked at everything, and I looked at my life, I would say I have no regrets. I would say that. I'm happy with my life. I'm always want to be good at things I do. And I have to remember, everything takes patience. You can't be good at something without being bad at it first. At least that's what I tell myself. There's a little big bright blue right there. A little bright blue right there. Okay, now I wanted to make this a poster, and I want to write humble yourself or humble yo-self, but not yo in like a trying to be cool kind of way, yo in a dorky kind of way, yo-self. So, humble yourself. Humble yourself. I think that's what it should be. Humble yourself. Do I have a yellow pencil? It's not sharp, but I have a pencil sharpener right here. Just a light outline. I don't know if you can even see it, but it'll work. Now choosing the right brush. This is fairly thin. Same colors. Sleeve in painting. I don't even know if red is an appropriate color for humility. Red is a color of passion. It's quite bold, but you have to have passion and be bold to be humble, I suppose. I suppose also as this show goes on and I do more episodes, I'll have some sort of a dialogue between you and myself. So that if you want to correct me on something. Yes, Brett, actually, red is the color of humility. Or no, it's not. That's my impression of people who are right. Spruce these letters up a little bit. Shall we? Ooh. I like what happens when I put that orange right on top. And do it with this. Humble. When I was a kid, I lived down the street from a family, and their last name was Humble. And a lot of those kids in that family had red hair too. They were nice people. Okay, Humble. Yo. Self. Yeah. This would be a great thing to just look at every day before you go out the door. Or maybe when you come home every day. You come home from the beating at work, the beating from the world. You get down on yourself and you come home. And then you remember, oh yes, life is precious. And I am valuable. And I'm a good person and I do good work and I should be proud of myself. And I love my family and my family loves me. And there's so much to be thankful for. And I am blessed. Now I'm going back to putting more water down on here. Just to see how that plays with itself. Separates the colors a tad. And I think I'm done. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. Well, Happy New Year. And next year is going to be great. And on New Year's Eve, I'm sure I'll be listening to that wonderful David Gray song and celebrating with my loved ones. And I hope you recognize that you have a lot to be thankful for. And I hope in 2021 I can get back to playing shows again and I can come somewhere where you are and sing for you. Maybe do a live paint and play episode. That would be nice. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Bye.